When I was a kid, one of the biggest things that helped me learn about the world and about things that I was interested in and wanted to learn more about and pretty much molded me into the person I am today were video games. And I'm not talking about Mario Kart 64 or Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 or any of the quote-unquote fun games that I spent most of my weekends on and weekdays on. I'm talking about the informational, educational games that I played when I was at school and also at home to help me for school. And I might have thought that they were just for school at the time, but I genuinely look back at most of those games as some of the most essential developmental parts of my entire childhood. I don't remember every single one that I used to play, but one of the best ones that I do remember was Reader Rabbit.
Here comes Reader Rabbit. All right, Reader Rabbit, bringing us some fun adventures.
Reading words and choosing letters.
Reader and his friends will help us learn together. Off to Wordville, soon we will be reading better. Yeah, let's go.
Hi, my name's Reader Rabbit, and this is my fabulous word factory.
I must have played those games when I was 5 or younger, so I only remember bits and pieces of what you actually do in those games, but I just remember loving them so much. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I was pretty much coasting through all of elementary school and getting those gold stars next to my name and some top tier accelerated reader points, which were some of the highest in my entire grade, and Reader Rabbit and the other games like it were such a huge reason for that. I'm not sure if I felt this way when I was in elementary, but one thing that I can look back on from all of my early years in school, and really school in general, is that learning from textbooks is extremely boring. I mean, yeah, they give you all the information that you need, but it's never offered to you in a way that anybody really wants. They're too in your face without any kind of flavor or pizzazz, and sorry, but that's just not good enough. And I don't want this to sound like I think games are better than books for learning or anything like that. I've always loved books, and I actually think that they're my biggest love in this world. But textbooks are not fun, and I think learning can always be fun. Better yet, I think learning should always be fun. Learning new things is one of the most exciting things any of us can do. And if there's one thing that video games have that books don't, it's the ability to deliver knowledge in one of the most fun ways possible. It's visual and oral and interactive, and there's just nothing like it. So it makes me extremely happy nowadays, being 26 years old and having witnessed the modern advancements of video games that have taken place in the almost 3 decades that I've been alive now, are the games that are targeted to help educate and inform the kids of today with all of those amazing advancements. I'll admit I haven't played them all, or probably even half of them. They're not exactly something I go out seeking anymore, as I'm no longer a kid and also don't have any kids of my own, but from time to time there will still be a few that stand out and catch my eye, and I'm always more than happy to give them a shot to see what they have to offer. And a certain game that I played earlier this year had a lot to offer. In fact, I would feel confident in saying that it might just be the greatest kids game ever made. Alba, a wildlife adventure from Us2 Games, is one of the biggest surprises and pure delights that I've ever had the chance to play. What started out as a very simple Pokemon Snap-esque type of game quickly opened up into this full-on open-world adventure that was thriving with different animals and people who are ready to meet you as you begin your journey to change the world. And what I really loved about that message of making a difference in the world is that it never had to make grand gestures that claimed that that's what it was trying to do. It lets you make all of these small differences by helping out trapped animals and recycling, fixing the broken down pieces of the island, and it was the action of doing all of those things as you slowly start to put this island back together that really started to sink in on you and help you realize that every small step actually does make a difference, and if you want to see real change like that happen, it's gonna start with you. One thing that I was worried about when I started this game is that it was eventually going to wear itself thin and start to get repetitive and basically become the kids game that we we probably all expect it to be, but it never does that. It only gets bigger and starts to tackle more and more important themes and issues like the threat of politicians and business tycoons who don't care about the preservation of animals or nature and would rather open up this huge new hotel to bring in new visitors to the island and money to the island. And while most people would see that and either not care or be disappointed and just go on with their day, it really is a powerful thing to go on this adventure with Alba to actually do something about it and get the people of the island to get on board to stop this from happening by helping them out with their own problems that they're dealing with, and by also cleaning up the island to show them that this is possible to do something about it rather than just lying on the beach and accepting the island's fate. Now, it's not ever put on as heavy as I might be making it out to sound like, but I think kids playing this could feel the importance of it to a level that makes them feel really invested in saving this island as if it was their own home that they would do anything to fight for and protect. One way of putting it for this game is that it's very much like the occasional documentary you might watch every year or so that makes you think about the ways that you can improve your own life, like eating less fast food, or learning that you have a passion for wine and that maybe you want to try and become a sommelier, or maybe you gain a new perspective on life after seeing things from the perspective of an iconic role model who inspired us every week in the neighborhood of make-believe. And I think a game like this can have that same kind of impact, if not even bigger, when it's placed in the hands of a kid who might just grow up one day to save the world because of this game, where they learn that helping animals in need and recycling are cool things to do. One thing was definitely clear once I finished this game and thought about everything I had done over the course of it, and that was that whether I was a kid playing this, learning about things in nature and the world for the first time, or whether I was a 26-year-old and still trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, or even if I was in the late years of my life on my way into the sunset, I think I would leave this game with the same takeaway no matter what. I want to be like Alba when I grow up. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. I want to be like Alba right now. Why not go out there and start to change the world little by little whenever we can? I know Alba would, so why can't we?